futuro da franquia Imortalidade. Em 96, os jogos 3D ganharam popularidade. Vamos lá. A Midway no mundo 3D. O jogo é esse. É isso. War Gods. O primeiro jogo 3D da Midway não foi Mortal Kombat, mas foi um título War Gods criado por outra equipe. Nossa, nunca ouvi falar desse jogo. Deve ter sido mais lixo que MK aqui. Absolute Cinema. Olha esse jogo, cara. Olha esse trilogizaço, mano. E agora, começando...
MK4 was definitely a new chapter for Mortal Kombat. It was our first 3D game, obviously.
We've created a new game at Midway. We could tell you about its new Zeus chip and how it renders 1.2 million polygons per second. About the lifelike 3D characters and amazingly real backgrounds. About a new weapons feature that will revolutionize fighting games.
I recall just the industry going towards 3D, and there was almost an assumption that, of course, you know, we're going to go in that direction.
Virtual Fighter, as revolutionary as it was very blocky characters. There wasn't a whole lot of detail, and I remember thinking, I cannot see us representing the MK characters in that fashion. By the time we got to MK4, the hardware that we had at Midway at the time had been developed enough so that the characters could be represented in a way that still sort of maintained a lot of the qualities that you saw in the earlier games.
There was not a whole lot technologically that we could carry from what we had been doing into that game.
When you think about it, to some extent, Mortal Kombat 2 built on 1, 3 built on 2, and we just had a whole development environment that just kept getting more sophisticated, and we could do more. Mortal Kombat 4 was like reset again. It's like we're in polygon land. That constant balance between, do we wipe the site clean? Do we keep the block button, high punch, low punch, block, and whatnot?
It was such a departure from the digitized rhythm that we're in, and you know, we introduced stepping in and out of 3D, weapons.
I think we should have put the weapons more on the forefront. I think between Mortal Kombat 3 and Mortal Kombat 4, the novelty of hiding moves in the game was starting to wane a bit. I don't think we quite identified it. So we put down away high punch is pull out your weapon. In retrospect, we should have just put a button on there and you pull out your weapon.
No arcade naquela época, né, mano? Hoje a gente vê no gráfico, era básico, né? O gráfico do 4. Mas eu tenho um carinho pelo 4.
We were such a ragtag team. I remember just staying up crazy late with programmers, with Mike Boone.
Game had started getting a little bigger, and they felt like they were understaffed. And eventually they just asked if I wanted to come over and join the team full time.
I moved into animation to figure out how to do motion capture, along with Steve Buran.
That was the very, very early days of mocap.
It's hard to work with, and cleaning up the data was really rough.
was literally 6 mocap cameras, where now we have 50 plus. The animations for MK4 are they're pretty raw.
Things like stage fatalities, the endings, all of those things were done in such a hurry.
I forgot about all the silly endings that we did.
It's over, Jarek. Shinnok is dead. The good guys won. You're coming back with me.
Never, Sonya. I agreed to help defeat Shinnok, not turn myself into the Special Forces. The Black Dragon live on!
The Black Dragon died with Kano. You're the last one, Jarek.
Never!
We were doing an ending every day.
Antes da TV Record.
Just go through all the animations in the game and find ones that that might apply to these particular situations. That's why the game has a lot of sections in it where it looks like the animations are really not made for what they're being used for.
Scorpion!
You know, like we didn't hire professional actors. It was just, you know, us.
Big mistake, yeah. Dan was scrambling, you know, of course, the schedule is tight.
Oh, yeah, everything.
We got to figure out how to make this game. And we got all this stuff to do.
Come in, Major Briggs. This is Lieutenant Sonya Blade. What?
I remember when he came to me and asked me to do a couple voices. I'm like, I don't do that.
Coitado,
I'm
você
not
tá no
good
sol
at
com
that.
o
He had me
MK4.
come into the studio.
Não tem
Did I do
câmera.
it?
Yeah.
I don't even remember who I did.
Started like the war
Velho.
is over. And then you're
Pergunta pra esse velhato.
The war is over. I've once again defended my title as champion of Mortal Kombat and defended the realm of Earth, but I have failed to save the realm of Edenia. Kitana?
Yes, Liu Kang. It is I.
But I thought you were gonna lick.
With Shinnok's destruction, you have not only saved the Earth, but you've also saved my own realm. For that, I can never repay you.
Knowing that you survived is all that I need.
I don't remember what I did, but I should not have been doing it. That's all I know. In hindsight, when I look at it, given what NetherRealm was doing today, if you think about the earliest cinematics that were done, those were them. When you look at kind of where it is today compared to where it started, it's a pretty big.
Mas tem que estragar o documentário, mano?
Sort of humble beginnings, I guess.
Puta merda.
Sorry, Jack.
Tem que estragar o documentário.
Wait, I promise. Too late, Jarek. You can't drop me. You have to uphold the law. You have to arrest me. Wait. This is brutality. You can't do it. Wrong, Jarek. This is not a brutality. This is a fatality.
Why I still love making games is that the technology is always changing, so you always have to stay on top of it. And I think MK4 was the first big taste of that.
Putaça de MK, mano.
You can't make a bigger jump pretty much than from 2D to 3D.
Mortal Kombat 4 is about change.
That was one of the most fun projects.
O que vai continuar, velho? Esboço de desenvolvimento, conceitos de arena. Tá em movimento. 96, né? Ah, o Mythology. Ah, não, o Mythology saiu depois, cara. O Mythology é de 97? O 4 é de 97. Não fala da aniquilação não, hein, do filme. Nem falaram do primeiro filme, só falaram.
Again, you're gonna have your arms.
Ah, aqueles vídeos.
I know, like that.
Esse cara eu sempre esqueço o nome dele. também fez o Concha. Ah, isso aqui é da hora.
We've created a new game at Midway. We could tell you about its new Zeus chip
isso é aquele lá.
and how it...
Chip, né? Arcade pra caramba. Chipzão. Meat. Bloquear o esqueleto conhecido no Meat, modelo usado nos fatais, exige muito esforço. Seleciona o modo verso, pois o grupo depois vem sua partida com cada personagem em ordem, do canto superior esquerdo ao inferior direito. O próximo personagem escolhido se transformará em Meat na próxima aula. Os caras colocou no Deadly Alliance, mano, essa lixeira.
We decided to change everything. We decided to change the presentation of the graphics, the gameplay, add completely new elements to it all.
Mortal Kombat 4 is the first 3D Mortal Kombat.
Why did Mortal Kombat go 3D? That's a great question.
I honestly tapped out at that point. I was not a fan of 3D fighters. I looked at 4 and I wasn't really vibing with it.
Going 3D for the video game industry was a little bit like reinventing the wheel but with polygons instead of pixels.
When Mortal Kombat 4 came out, I was absolutely taken aback that it was 3D.
You know, the transition to go from 2D to 3D is always tricky.
When it came out, I was insulted that there were no longer the photographed actors. Like, this isn't Mortal Kombat anymore. My biggest problem is whenever Mortal Kombat changed, I made the decision as the arbiter of Mortal Kombat that it was no longer Mortal Kombat.
Midway put out War Gods, which was kind of their first attempt at making a 3D fighting game. They take a lot of concepts from Mortal Kombat.
They had a 3D button instead of the button, but it never felt quite comfortable. And so I was like, I really hope they don't copy this. I'm kind of glad they didn't do that. Instead, they added like the sidestep ability.
More like a quick tap and you can dash into the foreground.
In Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, you had the dial a combo system, which was kind of like punching in a phone number. You have to know the phone number to do the combo. But fans were so creative with launchers that popped characters into the air and then comboing them on the way down with juggles that even those static combos became something that you could use to express yourself as a player.
Até do Jax é da hora. Até Special Force é da hora.
Mortal Kombat 4's combo system was called Universal, where everyone had the same combos, and not everyone had the same special moves. So you could still, you know, weave in special moves into the Universal combos to put your own little spin on them, but it wasn't the same as what you could do in Mortal Kombat 3. Mortal Kombat 4, I think, was one of the games that made the jump to 3D rather easily compared to a lot of other franchises.
It felt like it was not doing things as well as other 3D fighters in that space.
It was just so different. I couldn't get into it the same way.
Porque o nome era Mortal 4. Outro jogo.
Mortal Kombat 4 is one of those rare games where I like it a lot more now than I did when it came out. I could tell now that they were like doing something interesting, bringing it into a new era.
Mortal Kombat 4 is kind of that bridge game to what is coming next, right? It's their kind of first attempt at 3D. And so I think it makes sense nowadays when we look back on it to go like, well, Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3 are such amazing video games. Like, what do you do after that? Like, yeah, you have to strip it all down and rebuild it from scratch, or else you're just making the same thing over and over again forever. And no one wants that after a certain point.
As far as I was concerned, I loved Mortal Kombat.
Mortal é sempre assim, 3 monstros e uma desgraça. Aí depois ressurge, tomara.
Between the weapons, between the characters.
Eu gosto também dele, mas
the endings.
Foi tipo aquele estouro 3, né? 1 foi monstro, 2 foi monstrado, 3 estourou, 4.
I just thought Mortal Kombat 4 was this perfect package.
Dead
and I
Alive
played
já
it to death.
mais
It's
da hora.
probably the game I've spent the most time in, even more than Mortal Kombat 2 on Super
geração,
Nintendo.
né? Deception também. Nossa, Deception é muito louco. A Mythologies 97. A caixa gigante, a versão. Quando chegaram no Play, Nintendo 64 PC em 98. No verão de 98. A capa dobrável destacava os gráficos do toque de luz. Nossa, não lembro. Ah, sim. É que eu nunca tive isso aqui. A saída de Tobias. No final vai ter a espera de um MK13.
Towards my later years of Midway, what I became conscious of was that there is business outside of Chicago. I thought of what other opportunities are there beyond my, immediate work at Midway.
Saiu fora de Chicago, velho.
Mortal Kombat.
Aonde, mano? Aonde que é melhor que Chicago?
It got really big. We created it, but we didn't own it. He wanted to do something that he owned, I think.
We had been approached, a handful of times by other folks with, offers to move on.
Se ele falar que vai voltar até o final do documentário, vou dar show, mano. Esse do Legacy, eles escaparam algumas coisas do arcade.
Of course, I loved working at Midway. I had friends at Midway. The work I did, I was very proud of. We all look at each other as family. And I had been there for, over 10 years.
So he and a group of guys left, and then they formed another studio.
Leaving at the time that I did, I was aware of these new platforms that were, coming out. I knew Microsoft was working on something. I think the PlayStation 2 was, the early phases of that. We thought that if we're gonna leave and start something new, this is the time to do it.
I think I understood it, but I still missed working with him.
It was not an easy choice. I didn't feel good about leaving. I felt like, okay, this is something I have to do.
We never had a problem. I mean, to this day, we're still on the same text chain, and we talk all the time and whatnot.
I don't know that there were hurt feelings. I think we didn't talk for a period of time, but as the years passed, we all realized that we had become such great friends just in working with each other that we weren't going to let the idea that I wasn't working there wasn't going to come between our friendship. So we're still, I'm still friends with everybody I worked with back then.
Vai voltar ou não? Pelo amor de Deus, volta. Já era, cara. Nossa senhora. Que desgraça esse jogo. Esse aqui eu nem vou clicar, mano. Não sei qual é. Último impacto no arcade, Edmund Equipe de Desenvolvimento. Nossa, que porra é Edmund Equipe de Desenvolvimento com o jogo de... Ah, aquele jogo The Grid. Smash TV. Nossa, eles sempre falam desse bagulho, né? Esse jogo The Grid. Eita, começou esse jogo lixão, mano. Ó, estão falando de outros jogos, hein? Meu Deus, estão falando de outros jogos, mano. Não mostra esse não, que eu tô pensando, hein? Pula! Pula esse, pelo amor de Deus. Não estraga o documentário, já apareceu uma cena dele. Olha esse jogo, mano. O de Play 2, o primeiro Mortal que eu joguei de Play 2 foi o Deception. Depois eu joguei o Dead Alive. Aí, mas o Dead Alive é aí, então... Jogaço. Que tá faltando aí, né? No Legacy. Não tem o Legacy, viu, galera? Não tem o Deadly Alliance no Mortal Legacy. Só tem esse lixo aqui do Game Boy. É mó lixo. Olha aí. Isso é absoluto cinema! Jogaço. Modo Conquest. Tudo perfeito. Nossa, sem parar. Nossa, velho. Isso aqui nem precisa falar, né? Isso nem precisa falar. Olha, como que é que seu Madruga fala lá na praia de Acapulco? Nossa, sério. Que bonito, formoso, charmoso. É da hora. Eu gosto da Armageddon. Eu gosto pra caralho. Pra porra. Quem falar que é ruim esse jogo é fã de MK Camel. Cadê o Mortal vs. Mó jogaço. Ó, é mó jogaço, sim. Se tiver o 2 aí, eu sei, né, no The Game Awards, se for o 2, tá bom. É melhor que ser aquele Lichance 3. Só o Lichance não, mano. É melhor nem lançar. É da hora o verso de si. Olha, quem foi criado em 2009? A Midway declarou falência em fevereiro de 2009 e a empresa Bandida Bros adquiriu oficialmente seus bens em julho do mesmo ano. A equipe Mortal em Chicago foi mantida em abril de 2010, passou a se chamar NetherRealm. Olha o que eles estragam na entrada do estúdio, mano. Olha isso. Olha essa pedra de diamante, velho. Olha essa pedra de diamante, velho. Isso é perfeição. Isso é um reboot. Isso é uma reconquista, um renascimento. Isso sim. Isso sim é uma história foda, um reboot, um renascimento. Cinema. Perfeição. Perfeição em modo de jogo. Isso é Mortal. A história é boa, foi boa na época, mano. É da hora, Superman vilão e blá 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 e blá 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 blá. Pra que pôr Injustice no meio do legado? Tá bom, tá bom. A história é boa. Olha isso, nossa. Lembro até hoje. 10 milhões de cópias. Só a história que é com um rabão, mas a gameplay, mano, é um pouquinho melhor que o 11. A gameplay mais equilibrada. 2015, velho. Só a história que é com um rabo bem gigantesco assim, ó, do Chancholo. Assim, eu não, assim. Assim o tamanho do rabão da história. Olha quem é. Nossa. Foi da hora. Cheio de conteúdo também, mas não podia estar aí, mano. Aqui tá falando de Mortal, mano. Não... Pra que pôr Injustice nesse documentário? Vocês querem me dizer alguma coisa de dezembro, mano? Não faz isso não, mano. Kenneth Wilson! Final de documentário, eu sabia que ia passar sal, mano. Passei sal, tudo, mas... Sai louco. Pra mim, eu sei que muita gente gosta do X, mas o 11 pra mim é o 11. 11 é o 11. Só a história também, que foi com um rabaço. O Aftermath foi da hora, né? O Aftermath foi da hora. Mas, mano, o bagulho... Nossa, começou a cagar aí, né? Pra mim é o primeiro. Quer dizer, o 9, depois o 11, depois o X. Eu acho o 11 melhor que o X. Eu sei que a gameplay do X é melhor. Olha. Eu sei que é mó lixo, mas voltou pros cinemas, vai ter o 2, já tá garantido o 3, né? Foi mó trampo, mano, pra chegar nos cinemas. Mortal de novo. Teve aquele diretor lá que fazia a websérie, falou pra caramba. Foi legalzinho, você desligar a mente, dá pra assistir. Koyang vai de base no segundo. Né? Ó, atualizaram, uma sequência está prevista para 2026. Olha, está atualizada. Eu entendo que o Injustice tá aí no meio, mas pra que colocar esse lixo fedorento, mano? Pra que colocar essa peste? É uma peste, mano. Mortal Peste, podia colocar. A NetherRealm começou uma nova merda de tempo com a história cagada e a lacração. com MK Camel, oferecendo realidade reconstrutiva pelo recém-nomeado Galinhão, Deus do Fogo Liu Kang. Um novo mundo logo se vê ameaçado por lacração e camels e antigos rivais e muitos personagens favoritos retornam. Isso, o roster do MK1, mano, pra falar a verdade. O roster do MK1 eu acho da hora porque eu gosto da época 3D, mano. Os personagens aí, Ashra, Nitara. Faltou alguns outros do Deception ali. Eu achei da hora. Kenshi, mas... Sério, que lixo, mano. Que lixo! Já... O quê, mano? O que tem ali? Eu não quero ver. É o final, mano. Não tem nada. Nem um 13 ali no final, mano. Sangue novo. Red Bull. Nossa, a intro do 9, né, mano? Olha isso. Nossa, quando eu vi essa intro a primeira vez, eu falei, caraca.
The NetherRealm era of Mortal Kombat. The kind of revamp of the franchise, a reboot. It is all still very much unapologetically Mortal Kombat. We wanted to play it against each other. We wanted to see all the cool finishing moves and how all the old moves have been brought back because it was back to 2D.
Finish her.
Something that NetherRealm has always been really excellent at is innovating on their own formula and looking to push the boundaries of what they did in previous games to say we want to keep going and make this bigger and bigger, bring more people into the fandom. And Mortal Kombat 9, I think, was a really pivotal moment for that.
Your amulet. It is nothing, Liu Kang. The tournament begins.
I focus mainly on the creative, the overall direction that we're going to do. What's the new features we're going to add to this?
Não, se apareceu, fecha o documentário. Eu vou fechar o
I just want to expose his hand.
Aparecer a queixuda, fecha o vídeo.
It's a completely different animal. I haven't written code in 20 years or something like that, so...
I think it's a combination of things that keep Mortal Kombat interesting. First, it's NetherRealm's commitment to always innovating their gameplay mechanics. How are they continuing to one-up themselves? Like, where do these ideas keep coming from?
You have itches that you want to scratch. We wanted to do like this adventure thing. We've added the crypt.
É o máximo da perfeição. Olha essa cripta. Imagina um modo aventura assim, de mundo aberto, né? Que era pra vir um tal jogo aí, né?
And we've added, conquest mode.
Olha isso, chute. Se mostrar o Invasion é o táxi controle na câmera. Se mostrar o Invasion. Falando que é inovação. Eu não acredito que vocês vão falar isso. Fala do Invasion.
I believe that's played a huge role as far as the longevity of Mortal Kombat. Players not knowing, well, what's the next game going to happen?
What do you say we settle this man to man?
Best 2 out of 3.
Fair enough.
We must be careful. Madame Bo will kick us out if we break something.
Oh, this won't last long enough for that to happen. You will be down in no time.
Fight!
We're always trying to add something new. I think it's evolved dramatically over the years, and players are sticking with us. A big part of what motivates myself
isso é verdade. Quase todo mortal sempre muda a mecânica.
Não
falou dos camel? Por quê?
So many years later.
Pra todo mundo esquecer, né?
It didn't really dawn on me that it's not the same group of players. Some people joined in around Deadly Alliance. Some people joined during MK9 or something. So there's a novelty to a number of people who've only seen 3 Mortal Kombats as opposed to the 12 that we've done.
Opa! Viu apenas 3 Mortal Kombat dos 12 já, velho. Tá vendo como que chama MK13 o próximo, porra? O MK Camel é o 12, seu jumento. Tem gente que ainda fala que não é O 12, o MK Camel. Que doença, mano. Não sejam burros, mano. Ainda fica pedindo o MK12. É MK13, mano.
Something that I think really keeps the franchise going, iteration after iteration, is their ability to make it more accessible to a broader range of players and also a changing player base, adding simple fatalities that are a single button press. Adding combos that are easy to fire off.
Aí, tá vendo? Combos mais fáceis com o rabo, ó. Olha! Pra quem mostrar isso no documentário dessa velha arrombada, mano.
All make older gamers like me a little bit more willing to jump back in, but it also makes it really friendly for new players, which is fantastic.
Veterano vê o MK Cam, ele chora no banho.
If you want to punish yourself,
cara que nunca mais jogou Mortal, vai no MK Cam, ele chora no banho, mano.
And I
think
that's what
Chester,
gaming in a modern era is all about.
Para de mostrar esse lixo, mano. Estragando o documentário, mano, do legado, mano.
And the production of the games is huge now. The team was 4, and then it was 5 for MK2. I think it was like 7 for MK3. Once we got into doing directly to the home, where it was writing to a DVD or CD, there was a lot more memory to fill. We started getting into doing video to tell the story and whatnot. So all of a sudden, all these new disciplines are being, we have a number of producers on our team right now. And the directors, basically, camera directors and whatnot, story writers, dialogue writers.
The Mortal Kombat franchise does story so well. It's so wild if you try to summarize what the lore of Mortal Kombat is to somebody. You're like, okay, how much time do you have?
Surrender Kronika's crown and the Elder Jackson Briggs. No harm will come to you.
Can we take an Elder God?
Cassie beat Shinnok.
Only because the cages are born with crazy magic powers.
Maybe we have our own magic.
These really wild, fantastical characters. You have gods, you have robots, and you have animal humans and wizards and all kinds of stuff that makes it so fantastical and so fun. And the way that they've incorporated the lore and narrative into their story modes and campaigns in the games has been just phenomenal. They've made the campaign, for me, a go-to playable moment in every Mortal Kombat that comes out, and most fighting games can't say that.
Olha esse sapato de chifre ainda mostra sapato de chifre, mano. Esse xangaço.
It is an excellent ruse, your disguise.
O MK Camel é o MK11.
If it's revenge you want, have at it.
É uma sequência
If it's restitution,
o boot tem que acontecer agora.
What I want, Shang Tsung, is to elevate you, to make you the great sorcerer that now you can only pretend to be.
A gente falando que era o Onaga, mano, no começo do trailer.
When we did that with Mortal Kombat 9, it became our biggest Mortal Kombat selling game at the time, and I believe that was a big part of it.
They are absolutely paying attention to every facet of the space.
I hope you know our fight wasn't personal.
Please, do you realize how many tournaments I've fought in?
Isso é Raiden, é moleque, mano. É Enzo.
If you were to say,
chapéu.
Which series and which kind of games continue to figure out interesting ways to
olha o tamanho, mano.
Itself,
é um Raiden anão, moleque do buchicho.
I don't know how many franchises have their last games are the highest selling ones, which is like, how does that happen? Usually there's a tail off and then eventually they finish. Our last few games have been our highest selling ones, so I don't know what I don't know.
Porque todo mundo é trouxa igual eu. Mas nem o Street Fighter passou MK Cam, eu tava vendo ontem. Street Fighter não chegou nem a 6 milhões de cópias, né? E os caras ainda cobrando pra assistir. Campo da Capcom. Pelo amor de Deus. Acabou. MK3. Que já pensou? Mais um, hein? O legado de Mortal Kombat. pior parte, agora a gente volta à nostalgia. Olha essa estátua. Animatronic.
It's funny, when I look back at Mortal Kombat, what I wouldn't share with folks
Fala
that
que vai
I work with
voltar,
was,
pelo
yeah, I
amor
do
de
this for free.
Cristo, mano.
4 people can make an entire game.
Ed Boon and John Tobias were young, they were hungry.
It's a bit of the Wild West. There wasn't rules.
They were working on projects at Midway that they found exciting. But when you're a creative person, eventually you're going to want to branch out and do your own thing.
John and I were talking about a game called Street Fighter. We were really kind of fixated on the idea of doing a photorealistic Van Damme fighting game.
Well, the visuals were incredible. Digitized, it's real people.
You're seeing those 2 big characters on the screen. I was just like, this is the coolest thing ever.
After that game came out, graphics just kept taking leaps and leaps on top of each other.
There was so much to explore, and you had no idea of what you were still missing. And not having the internet at the time to go to, it made it very social.
Sei não, acho que o Tobias não volta não.
When I first got a chance to see a fatality for the first time.
Pra Mortal Kombat ele não volta não.
I lost my mind. I didn't know that was allowed in a video.
It was really the first mainstream hyper-violent game.
The way the local news was covered was, can you imagine if Pac-Man could kill?
When a player wins, the so-called death sequence begins. The game narrator instructs the player to finish his opponent.
Certainly, the game being ported to the home kind of changed things a little bit.
That was a shocker to the moms and dads of suburbia.
The very idea that like Mortal Kombat was going to destroy society or the fabric of our youth was always ridiculous. If it was just like, hey, it's a cool fighting game and you can chop off heads, like we wouldn't be sitting here talking about it.
These games would just start showing up at arcades, copying Mortal Kombat. Bloodstorm, Time Killers, Tattoo Assassins. These games played terribly.
It was more than blood, more than guts, more than even a fighting game.
They really hit just like a gold mine.
Back then, it was kind of like you make a game, you hope it's a success, and you move on to the next game. And if it is a success, cool. You move on to the next game and you do something else, right?
When the game was done, certainly in my head, there was 10 things that I would have done differently.
And so that was the first time that I thought, oh, okay, I guess we're signed up for a sequel. The hardware that we were working on was improving. I think if you look at MK2 next to MK1, you notice the difference in terms of the aesthetics.
Mortal Kombat 2 built on 1, 3 built on 2.
The run button, oh my god. Oh my god.
Mortal Kombat 1 and 2 were still great games, but they felt so much slower that it was hard to get back.
Esse é meio que resumo, meio que já passou, né?
They play so differently, but the fact that they're so different is what's cool. Mortal Kombat 4 was like reset again.
The game had started getting a little bigger, going into 3D for the first time.
I was super excited about it.
Mortal Kombat going 3D, I think, you know, it makes sense when you look at where technology was going at the time.
And people forget how tough the transition was to go from 2D to 3D for so many teams.
The team was 4, and then it was 5 for MK2. I think it was like 7 for MK3, 15 for MK4, and each game just grew. And once we got into doing directly to the home, or was writing to a DVD or CD, it takes a huge team.
Like they experimented and did all this different stuff with Mortal Kombat.
We're trying to up the game, you know? Like, we're trying to come up with something that, you know, progresses the game.
This was over the course of, 20, 25 years.
I think back to a conversation I had with an uncle of mine. He asked me, what do you want to do when you grow up? And I said, hey, I want to draw Spider-Man. And he said, well, somebody's already drawn Spider-Man. You got to make up your own thing. And I remember thinking to myself, yeah, I guess I got to make up my own thing. And Mortal Kombat was that thing. I mean, I think that it's, I don't know that I'll ever create something that resonates the way that Mortal Kombat did. That's kind of a once-in-a-lifetime thing.
Ed, John Tobias, and, a handful of other guys just did a great job. That's it.
Mortal Kombat is actually the best-selling fighting game franchise in the world. It's always been my favorite fighting game.
When Mortal Kombat came out, it was like, oh, this is the pinnacle of gaming.
It changed the way the marketing happened. It changed the ways that people thought about violence.
It caused the industry to grow on so many levels.
It brought in the shock, awe, and humor that I think has represented the pure definition of video game entertainment.
There's a lot of games lately that would rather show you that they're art. It almost seems like they're performing. It's like me, please tell me I'm acceptable, tell me I'm good enough. And Mortal Kombat is just like garage band and sort of American. It's like, go fuck yourself. That's what I love about it. And I have to assume there's lots of us that love that.
You have players who are really wrapped up in the lore and the story and all of that in a way that like most other fighting games never really delved into.
Are you sure you're a grandmaster?
Fala que é a melhor franquia e mostra isso, mano. Pra esquecer, mano. Jogar pra debaixo do tapete, velho.
Interesting.
Kung Lao, over here! It's why the games still have these, amazingly crafted story modes to this day.
We must fight for each other, Baraka, not with each other.
Got everyone suspects. He said as much to my face.
Aid us, and I'll make sure you sit at Kotal's table.
It's this giant soap opera built on top of this super, super fun fighting game that really captured this feeling of mystery and magic that you get from old films.
And it's that curiosity, I think, that drives people to continue playing Mortal Kombat, and that has helped it remain a pillar of popular culture today.
I am not yet defeated. Yes, you are.
Temple of Kataravala, take 39, tail slate.
That's a wrap.
They're making the fourth movie now, right? Like how many video game franchises have 4 movies made out of them?
And I really don't think about it, because I think about it as just a game, but it brings people together.
And it's created such a mass community.
Their fan base is one of the most loyal fan bases that I've ever seen in all of gaming.
It will always be the game that I think was my first love and continues to be that. I'm an MK fan for life.
I would hope that 100 years from now, people are still talking about Mortal Kombat, and Finish Him is still a thing.
There's such a fervent base of fans for it, so if they don't get sick of it, we're gonna still make it.
I think if that could be the legacy of Mortal Kombat, that it's just this evergreen.
Such a Mortal Kombat, and Finish Him is still a thing.
There's such a fervent base of fans for it, so if they don't get sick of it,
se eles não enjoarem,
we're gonna still make it.
Continuar produzindo. Rebele-se logo. Rebele-se!
I think if that could be the legacy of Mortal Kombat, that it's just this evergreen thing that will always be with us, I think I'd be very happy.
And whether it's spin-offs or reboots or,
Seja spin-offs, reboots, continuações.
Continuing the story. I'd love it if Mortal Kombat.
Adoraria que Mortal Kombat se tornasse uma franquia eterna. Então faz outro, velhaço! Faz outro logo! Anuncia em dezembro, pelo amor de Deus!
Like DC or Marvel or Star Wars, long after we're done working on it.
Já é quase.
Something that everybody,
quase, mas é
still wanted.
É monstro. Velhaço! Pilantra, mano. Barry Mike Boom. Trampa uma Netherrealm. O John Vogel. Mortal 2 Dead Alliance. O Gordon saiu, né? O Dan Ford, isso é monstro, velho. Ele se aposentou, né? Esses dias aí. Vai fazer umas 2 semanas. Não mostrou uma pessoa, né? Quer dizer, uma não, umas 3, umas 4. Nem vai mostrar, ainda bem, né? Não estragar mais ainda. Por que não mostra? Por que não mostra o roteirista, mano? Aquele lixão que faz as histórias que tá lá no Netherrealm. Se ele não foi mandado embora ainda, né? John Tobias deixou a mídia em 2000 para formar o estúdio gigante. Ele é um diretor muito respeitado na indústria dos games. E a volta, mano? Vai voltar ou não, corno? Cornaço. Ed Boon continua na liderança do time criativo de Mortal. Já vendeu mais de 100 milhões de cópias. Em 2022 ele ganhou aquele prêmio lá. Nossa, eu já tinha canal, já até fiz vídeo disso aí. E entrou pro Hall da Fama. Do Fama, né? Ele entrou. Que? Continua, ele falou? Olha que puta de morda. Não, ele não falou continua, não, né? Ele falou? Taça de mortal. Desculpa por minha bateria de mortal. Ele falou no final, ele tá aí. É maldade. Game over. Game over. Game over, mano? Não fala isso não, mano. Imortalidade surpreendendo e encantando os fãs da mesma medida. Mortal mudou justamente como a sociedade vê os videogames 3 décadas após sua estreia. Os personagens únicos, a história rica e a jogabilidade em constante evolução, tirando os cameos para levar a franquia ao futuro. Mano, eu acho que o próximo jogo é Mortal. Nada a ver, mano. Mas é sim! Que lixo de Just Game, mano. É Mortal e acabou. Foi o documentário aí. É da hora, achei da hora. Eu sempre assisto os documentários do Mortal. Sou uma vagabunda de Mortal. Então sempre tem que assistir todos. Comenta aí o que vocês acharam dos documentários. Se tinha alguma coisa que vocês nunca tinham visto. Interessante.